Hello there, Bible scholar. That's you. If you clicked on this video, you are a Bible scholar because you're studying the Bible with me. We are Bible scholars. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Taneza. I am the mother of 3 excited. My kids have, sometimes for no reason, excited kids living in the heart of New York City. I am reading through the Bible for the very first time, and I would be over the moon excited if you would join me. All that you have to do is subscribe to my channel, and please do make sure that you turn on your notifications so that the very instant I upload it, you all are on it like this. Today's review, get excited. It's really beautiful, a beautiful review today. 2 Samuel chapters 7 and 8. 2 Samuel chapters 7 and 8. I will be reading from the NIV. Any translation you have is perfect. And you actually don't even need a Bible. I'll put every verse I read on the screen. Let's get started, guys. Chapter 7. After King David is settled in the palace, and actually the Bible says the Lord had given him rest from all the enemies around him. He was speaking to Nathan, the prophet, and he was telling Nathan how here he is living in this palace while the Ark of the Covenant was housed in a tent. That night, the word of the Lord came to Nathan, and God gave Nathan directions for David. But he also gave David some promises, and I had to read these out loud, you guys. I wanted to read for you verses 8 through 17 because they're so beautiful, and it's a reminder that our God is a great God. Our God is a great God. And I was reading it thinking, like, if God can do this for David, he can do this for all the kids that he loves, all of his children. It says, "Tell my servant David, this is what the Lord Almighty says. I took you from the pasture and from following the flock to be ruler over my people Israel." Like literally, he was tending his father's thousands of sheep. Remember? Come on, back in 1 Samuel chapter 16 and then 17. And he literally was there to take food to his brothers and to their commanders from his father, and saw Goliath, who every day for 40 days had gone and said, "Send me somebody. Whoever wins, if you beat me, we'll be your servants. If I beat you, we'll be your servants," taunting them. So David was there to deliver food to his brothers and their commanders. He volunteered to go up against Goliath, and he won. So that's what God's saying when he says, "I took you from the pasture and from following the flock to be ruler." And God is no respecter of persons, tribe. Bible scholars, someone needs to hear that. God is no respecter of persons. He will use anyone for anything. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to preach. Let's get back to the word. "I have been with you wherever you have gone. I have cut off all your enemies before you. Now I will make your name great, like the names of the greatest men of the earth. I will provide a place for all my people, and I will provide a place for my people Israel, and will plant them so that they can have a home of their own and no longer be disturbed. Wicked people will not oppress them anymore as they did at the beginning, and have done ever since the time I appointed leaders over my people Israel. I will also give you rest from all your enemies. The Lord declares to you that the Lord himself will establish a house for you. When your days are over and you rest with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring to succeed you, who will come from your own body. I will establish his kingdom. He is the one who will build a house for my name. I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father. He will be my son. When he does wrong, I will punish him with the rod of men, with floggings inflicted by men. But my love will never be taken away from him, as I took it away from Saul, whom I removed from before you. Your house, your kingdom, will endure forever before me. Your throne will be established forever. So beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. The first part of chapter 7, as I've read, is God's promise to David. The second part of chapter 7 is David's prayer. David's prayer is beautiful, but I wanted to highlight for my Bible scholars verses 22, 23, and 24. How great you are, O sovereign Lord. There is no one like you. There is no God but you, as we have heard with our own ears. Who is like your people Israel, the one nation on earth that God went out to redeem as a people for himself, and to make a name for himself, and to perform great, awesome wonders by driving out nations and their gods from before your people, whom you redeemed from Egypt. You have established your people, Israel, as your very own forever. You, O Lord, have become their God. Verse 28, O sovereign Lord, you are God. Your words are trustworthy. You have promised these good things to your servant. Be pleased to bless the house of your servant, that it may continue forever in your sight. For you, O sovereign Lord, have spoken. With your blessing, the house of your servant will be blessed forever. And that's one thing that I've noticed. I think that we need to remember, as great and almighty and all-knowing the Lord is, he also likes to be reminded that we realize how great he is. And how do we do that? We do that through praise. We do that through prayer. We do that through thanksgiving. Chapter 8. Bible scholars, this chapter, it goes through all of David's victories, right? The Philistines, the Moabites, Hadadezer, Arameans. Hadadezer brought them to Jerusalem. So it goes over all the nations that he overcame. One thing I did want to point out, though, is verse 11, that King David dedicated these articles, so articles of silver, gold, and bronze, to the Lord. He dedicated the plunder taken from Hadadezer as well. Verse 15 says, David reigned over all Israel, doing what was just and right for all of his people. I love that David has a council of men for guidance and for advising. And that's how chapter 8 ends. Bible scholars, as always, questions, comments, revelations. What did you guys think about David's prayer and God's promises to him? I love this time with you guys. I do. I look forward to seeing you in our next review. Bye, Bible scholars.